Chapter 7. Not mean to do that. There we go. This one's called It Just Hurts. AJ looked in her eyes. She looked a lot like Sophie in the moment. Maybe that's all he wanted to see. Her butt nose, perfect full lips, and a texture on her skin like no other. He almost began to cry, but held it back. He knew if he did that, then the idea he told to her when they met would melt and fade, and she would know something was up. So, AJ finally decided to ask the girl her name. This might seem bad, but what's your name? Caitlin, she replied, happily and with intoxication. Trailed by, and yours? It's Aaron. Pleased to meet you. They spent some time after laughing and playing video games on their phones, while drinking and doing other things, not drugs, trust me. Before PTSD swept the floor, his performance was not friendly. Caitlin wept like a violin. Her truth, powered by angst and dread, stated its words through to AJ from the girl's mouth. It was about that night at the gas station. It broke her and left her that way, day in and day out. She told AJ that her boss didn't believe the story of the robbers and thought she did it herself. So there were no cameras in the store or outside or down the street or the street after that. It didn't really matter, so it was her word against her boss's. So she was fired, and her family didn't buy the story either, so they kicked her out the house. I haven't spoke to her since. Revelization, the size hurt AJ. He started puking. Matter of fact, he did several times in a bathroom that had pink liquid in the toilet, and about 7 buckets with his reflection staring back at him. That black darkness. One too many, dear? Caitlin asked AJ, sadly. Yeah, he answered, sickly. He stayed in bed with her for a few more hours while he plotted what to do next to her boss. Page 26. Caitlin, the lovely European, AJ was thinking she was anyway, Swedish or Russian or some pale moon comparison compared to her actual beauty. What were we yapping about? Oh yeah, Caitlin. She was fast asleep, or I guess slow since it took some work from AJ to calm her down. Anyway, he got all his things, stole a couple of bottles and a 6-pack of exotic African beer from the bar. It was bigger than he thought, not a gay joke. He tried to find Sophie and everyone else, but couldn't. The place was giant as shit. So he thought, fuck it, and left. AJ walked down a sketchy ghetto until finding a dude named Jaquavius and trading the liquor he stole for his son's little mountain bike. After doing the deal and talking about anime with Jaquavius, smoking blunts and bubblers while passing a Texas mix with Jen around. For 27 minutes, AJ dapped him up, Jaquavius that is, and rode to the back roads to do his business. He snorted an Addy mixed with an Oxy to help manage the witch's cauldron in his stomach. 16 minutes passed and AJ is where he needs to be. The gas station, that is. He dropped the bike in a ditch for later and made his way to the back of the store. He put on a white and black striped long sleeve hoodie, a shiesty, that's one of those robber masks, black, brown dirty champion pants, and some Timbs. Not sponsored by either of those people. Oh yeah, he got the Timbs off Jaquavius. he went to go hit inside, his gun by his side, lubed up with vengeance. It was the farthest thing, if not the farthest thing, from a vigilante. And whatever the title stands for. But in this moment, he felt like a display of redemption was boiling nicely for him to stir and swallow, bringing himself to the surface instead of stuck in the mud. AJ was about to head into the front door when a noise, annoying but not mistaken for regular people, it was Juanito and Tyler. Fuck you, you filthy fuck. Open the safe, or else I'll make sure you never feel safe again. You hear me, you fat fuck. Oh god. It was obviously Tyler screaming at the store owner. AJ was frozen. He had to think of a move quick. Suddenly, the owner stopped crying and began to speak. Please stop. I beg. How did you know about the store? Please, I beg. Tyler looked back at Juanito, who was busy stuffing everything in the store in 2 giant-ass gym bags. But when Juan noticed the evil look in Tyler's eyes, he dropped the bags to give the old man his truth, and then some. You listen here, puta. That little girl sold you out. Spent 2 days and nights biking up and down Novelty trying to get her, and I got all the info for this. That and then some, I guess. The owner's face turned into that of a Roman statue, stuck hearing and seeing this appalling event, but was powerless to do anything. Suddenly a fucked up, deranged figure showed his mask to them, through the front door. AJ looked at Tyler and Juanito like it was the first time again, before heightening his gun to Juanito's head and pulling the trigger. Bang! His body folded onto the piss-covered floor like a tortilla. Tyler ran behind the safe, a shelf before, having half his body blasted off by the owner, who could finally have control of the situation, of the shotgun he hid in the floorboards. This would have been a rad spot to end this travesty and move on with life. Maybe become lifelong friends with the owner, but Tyler was right beside all the hard liquor when he was lit up. Page. Hold on. One second. Alright, I got it. End of chapter. The flames ate Tyler's body up, or at least what was left, and the rest of the store with the owner, of course. On the side, no charge, AJ ran out that bitch with his Quavius powered shoes back to the ditch. About halfway there, AJ heard a big boom after that. He basically leaped back into the ditch, onto the bike. Only one place to go after all this shit. Home. The trip back was tedious. He had to get off the bike, had to walk with it halfway there so he could hide in the dark. Police department, fire department, set their respective goons to the crime scene to see what's what. He couldn't risk them seeing him. He was too fucked up to speak, really to anyone. Not the cops. That was a whole another mission. It came to that. He stopped at a dried up creek to take a break, as he hadn't heard any noise besides Sophie and the twins blowing up his phone, but he couldn't answer. Not now. Maybe not ever. The cops or something worse pops up from the corner of the scene. AJ cracked open a beer and got some lines of China onto his phone, which had committed suicide at this point. I was not shutting the fuck up. Oh god. AJ partied a great one he always had the most fun with himself. Because besides Sophie and his friends and family back in their tribal village, in the United States, but even then, when it's just him, it's just number one with him. It's pure, it's magic, it's tranquility. You feel that way with people he was close with, but he couldn't control the beginning or end of these things because he didn't want to. But when it was just him, he felt the energy to turn planets into gods so they can talk, have pets, feel things like making love, betrayal, travesty, novelty, make them bleed psychedelia.